Hey dolls and friends, welcome back and thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. If you're new here, my name is Amber Michon and I do weekly DIYs, hauls, and other fun things. If you're not new, hey doll, hey. So in today's video, I am super excited. It is my second round for my monthly Inspired Me collaboration. So excited with the group of ladies I brought together to recreate each other's amazing pieces that we were inspired by. You guys hear Isaiah? And I had so much fun collabing with these ladies on this, so make sure you check out all of our videos. I will have the link to the playlist in my description box below, as well as the link to all of their channels. I have some kitchen DIYs for you. They are really high-end looking. Absolutely love how they all turned out. So I really hope you guys do enjoy this video. And if you happen to come from any of these lovely ladies' channels, hello, welcome. My name is Amber, and I love to do all things DIY and crafting on a budget. If you enjoy what you see, I would love if you would consider subscribing. Thank you. Thank you. And hitting the bell right next to it so you're notified every time that I upload. All right, dolls, let's jump right in. I am recreating this gorgeous framed piece from Julia over at the Mug Life DIY. She framed a few butterflies, but I really love this piece because it's super simple, but it looks so high end. So I'm recreating this in my farmhouse style, and I am doing this farm animals kitchen sign. Yes, farm animals, I said. So from Dollar Tree, I got a canvas, flat canvas, their largest one. And from Walmart, I got these large popsicle sticks or craft sticks. And then Dollar General, I got those farm animals. So I took out my self-healing cutting mat, and I measured it to where I get that, it's not 90 degrees, I think it's 140 degrees. It's that middle line. So basically I just put the craft sticks right in the middle where all of the lines meet, and then just put it a little bit lower or underneath where the curve is on the craft stick, and then mark that down with my pencil and then cut it down with my blade. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I did both sides on each of these craft sticks because the way that I'm going to line them up, I want them to kind of look like faux wood slates or whatever. But I just did that with I would say about maybe 12 of these craft sticks. Once I had the first one done, I just measured the rest out with that first and second piece. And then as you can see here, I'm lining them up on my canvas to make sure that they all fit right. If I need to cut any of them down, then I cut them down. A couple of them had some spaces in between. I'm really confused about that because I literally measured them all from one craft stick. But you know, sometimes you just kind of go too far to the left or too far to the right when you cut. But anyways, once I got them all lined up, I just hot glued them down to the border of my canvas, just like this. Super easy. Don't need that much hot glue, but you know, enough to get it down. This is what I'm left with when I'm done. And because some of them had the gaps in between, I really didn't want to do this, but two of the spots had gaps in between, so I'm using my lightweight spackle from Dollar Tree to cover up those gaps a little bit. And then I just decided to put them on all of the cracks just so I can get better of a cohesive look. And then after that spackle dried, I wiped it down with a rag and then sanded it down with my sanding block. I'm totally off camera. I was on the phone with a friend, so I just did not even know where I was. But anyways, after that was done, I gave it one paint coat of my ink chalk paint. And this is where it gets fun and dicey, y'all. So after it was dry with the paint, I took my finger sander and decided to sand down the paint a little bit because I wanted more of a distressing, weathered look. And I started to sand it down, not realizing that the paint, like the dried paint, got on my fingers. So then I was touching the canvas and it got all over the canvas, and I tried to wipe that down and then it streaked and it looked terrible. So I just rolled with it, took my plaster chalk paint out and just painted the canvas all the way around. I just painted the entire canvas using that plaster color, just one coat. And then after that was dry, I took some jute and just did the inside border of the frame. Just hot glued that down. once that was done, I was ready to put down my farm animals. I just removed the hanging wire that was on top with the needle nose pliers and then hot glued them to the front, one on top of the other. I really love how this turned out. It's so, so cute. You guys know I said I didn't really like farm animals for like farmhouse decor, but I'm really digging this. I really, really like it, and so happy that I bought those from Dollar General.
Say something meaningful, say something I don't know. I wanna know you better. The way that you talk to me, the way that you make me feel, I don't know where.
For my next DIY, I am getting inspiration from Melissa over at Melissa Makes It DIY, and she made this really cute farmhouse cutting board. She got this from the thrift store, so I'm making my own version of this cutting board sign. So from Home Depot, I bought 2 packs of their 5-gallon paint stir sticks. I lost the footage of that, but you guys know what they look like. Basically, I cut down the handles on 4 of them because I don't really care for the handles on these paint stir sticks, but I left one completely full length. And then after I cut them down, I sanded down the, crazy edges or whatever. And then I started to hot glue them together. So 4 of them are the shorter ones. And then the one that's still full size that I didn't cut at all, it goes in the middle. So I have 5 sticks. 3 come in a pack, so that's why you have to get 2. And then after I hot glued them together on the edges, this is what I'm left with. And then I take my white linen chalk paint from Rust-Oleum and I give it 2 paint coats. Then after that, I got my husband's drill and I decided to drill a hole in the top handle part. And this part was really fun, you guys. I need to use this drill a little bit more often on some of these wood projects. But anyways, once I had that hole done, then I decided to take some of my jute and wrap it around the bottom part of the handle. I got this jute from, where did I get this from? Was it Walmart? Yeah, I got it from Walmart, and it's lasted me probably this entire lockdown season. So it's been pretty good. Now for the back side, it was kind of flimsy, so I put some hot glue to reinforce it, but then I also put down some large popsicle sticks because I needed to make sure that it stayed together. And then because I had the popsicle sticks on there, I decided to cover the back with some brown craft paper to make sure it looked complete and finished. You guys know I like that look. So once that was done and I had a great look of it, I tried to figure out what I wanted on the front. So I just went to my Cricut Maker and went into Design Studio and looked up some kitchen phrases for cutting boards. And I found this really cute, really funny one that says, "Chop it like it's hot." I think it's so cute. It's so funny. Like I just said twice. But anyways, I just put that on the front part of it. And then I also took my drill. I probably should just got a sanding paper or whatever, but my drill was right there to get me more of a curved edges. So it looked more like a cutting board and not just so straight lined. So after I used my drill to it, I took my sanding block and sanded it down just a little bit. Kind of filed it like you would your nail. And then after that, I had this black faux leather ribbon and I decided to put that through the hole. Let me know if you like this or no ribbon at all. I think I'm going to take it off because I think I really like it without it. But I'm not done with this because I really wanted to distress this and farmhouse it up, but not overly too much. So I took my chippy brush and my antique wax paint and decided just to distress the edges around the entire cutting board as well as the handle. And I think this is just so pretty. I did more distressing on the handle than the body of the board, but I love this. I think it is so fancy looking. It is so cute. And it was so easy. It was just a couple dollars. So do this if you can. So next up, we're going to Nicole over at the Weeks Nest DIY. So earlier this month, she did some DIYs using Dollar Tree wood items, and she made this really nice command center. And I thought it was so good, and I definitely want to try it out. So I'm making this huge command center for my kitchen. So from Dollar Tree, I took 2 of their Valentine's Day signs, 2 summer signs, and 4 packs of these rulers. So you may not have all of these at your Dollar Tree. If you have a craft stash, you may have these on hand, but all you're going to need is 4 signs that are the same length and width. So basically just 4 same signs. So anyways, the first thing I did is just took everything apart, took the welcome word off, took off the borders on these Valentine's Day signs, and then I started to line everything up. So the summer signs are just a little bit longer than what the length of 2 of those Valentine's Day signs are. So I just separated them just a bit so they can match up and line up. So I started to hot glue them down together on the seams as well as with some of my craft sticks. Once those 3 were done, then I put the other summer sign on top so that way it matched up with that first summer sign. And then I just applied everything the same way by putting the hot glue on the seam and then putting my craft sticks down. And then, of course, after that was complete, I covered everything up with my brown craft paper. After I turned it over, I just used my lightweight spackle again to cover up the seam of the 2 summer signs. So that way, when I painted over it, it didn't look like I just had a bunch of signs together. It would just look like one. And then again, once it dries, I wipe it down with a rag and then sand it down just a bit so I can get a smoother surface. I also made sure I removed the staples from the 2 Valentine's Day signs, and I just used a spatula tool that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. Once that was done, I'm actually going to paint this 2 different black colors. So I am going to use this chalkboard paint from the Dollar Tree, but first I'm just going to cover everything with 1 coat of acrylic black paint. I think this is Apple Barrel's Jet Black. So I just covered that up with 1 coat. And then after that dried, I went back over it with my chalkboard paint. Now you don't have to do this. You can do 2 coats of chalkboard paint or 1 coat of chalkboard paint. But I didn't think that I had enough chalkboard paint to cover this up in the way that I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be like matte black. So that's why I did the first coat paint of just acrylic black, and I think it turned out like way better than I imagined. Once that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and move over to my rulers and remove the top pieces off of the ruler and then cut off the circle part on the top of each of the rulers and then sand that down to get a smoother end. Then I am using these pop-up stickers. If you guys watch Nicole, you know she likes using these pop-up stickers or any stickers of any kind. I really love using them too, but she uses them a lot. So I thought it would be so much fun just to take a little bit from that and use these. I just put the larger ones on the raised part of the ruler and then the smaller ones on the outside of each of these rulers. And I found it easiest to use one of my Cricut tools to do it because I just could not keep picking them up. They kept falling. Anyways, once all of these were done, I gave everything 3 paint coats of my white chalk paint. Yes, 3 coats. After everything was dry, it was time to assemble. You guys, this was a huge project and it took me a while to complete, but it was so much fun to do. And I'm like so not relieved, but I'm so proud that I did this. Now I need to put my borders in and all of my sticks and everything. Sticks. But you know, the pieces from the Valentine's Day signs, those are in there. So I just had to go in and cut down some of the pieces because they were a little longer. So super easy, just measure out or mark down where you need to cut it and then just use some old scissors to cut it. I found that really easy because the smaller pieces were just kind of like cardboard. So once I had everything sized out correctly and in its right spot, then that's when I just started to hot glue everything down. I do start to change my mind a little bit in between here, where I thought I was going to have everything where it is, but I changed my mind on a few things. But that's okay, right? That's what crafting is. So after all of my ruler pieces and everything else was in, I kept one piece out because I had this cork sheet, and I thought that it would be so good to have this on a command center. So I just had a little bit left. I didn't have enough to cover a whole square like I originally wanted to, but I just measured it out and cut it down to size to fit in this like L shape because that's all I had left. And I just wanted to use it all. And so once I cut it down to size, I took off the backing of it and then just placed it there. And then I still had that little piece left, but I just put it aside. I cut out in my Cricut maker this week's menu with the days of the week, as well as remember. That is remember. It's not an I on the end like my husband thought. It's an exclamation point. Anyways, I placed that on the side, the right side of this command center. And I really love how this is turning out. It's so nice. So then I had 2 of these unfinished wood boxes from Dollar Tree. I just found them a couple weeks ago. I thought, go ahead and hot glue those down to the bottom so that way you can hold some pens, some scissors, whatever else. I thought it would look really nice in this spot. And then the next thing I did is took some half wood browns that I had to cover up that space that I had in the middle. It was just bothering me too much. So 4 of them looked great there. And then I finally hot glued that last piece in the middle of both of those cork sheets because it looked a little weird, that L shape. So I needed to separate it a little bit. And I love how this turned out. Oh my goodness. My husband says he likes it, but he says it's a lot going on. But I'm like, this is perfect. This is everything that it needs. But I really do love this. I think it looks so high end. I love the border of this. It's just giving me all of the feels.
You know you're beautiful. I'll sing until my lungs give out. You're beautiful.
For this last DIY today, we're going over to Jenny over at Lovely Moments Creating. She made this really pretty high-end basket she got from Goodwill, and she just redid it, and it is just gorgeous. So I knew this is something that I needed to try. So I'm making my own version of my welcome basket. So from Target's Dollar Spot, I got this basket. It was $3 during fall, and then I had this welcome word in a pack from Big Lots a while ago, some ribbon, and some floral from Dollar Tree. So the first thing I did was remove my tag and then gave my basket just one good coat of my white chalk paint from Rust-Oleum. I didn't want it too white. I just wanted some of the brown wood color to show through. So that's why I'm kind of using like an old brush because it's really like this basket is kind of rough. But anyways, this is what it looks like once I'm complete. And then I took this nautical rope from Dollar Tree and I'm making my handle. So on Jenny's basket, she made these really pretty like decorative like handle. So I'm taking some jute that I got from Walmart. This is the same jute I've been using this entire video. And I'm just wrapping that around on to the base of this handle on both sides. And I think this is just such a pretty touch. It's so nice and it's so farmhouse. I absolutely love it. So then I just hot glue it down and cut it off once I'm done wrapping it all the way up. And then I do that on both sides. Then next up, it's time for me to apply my floral. So on those florals that I had in the beginning of showing this, I only used the greenery. I didn't use any of the blue. I like a pop of color, but I wasn't really looking for that with this DIY. So I just randomly placed some of the greenery sprigs in here towards the bottom of the basket. And then I also put a couple on the top. You're going to see here that I put a lot more on the top and on the sides, but I ended up changing that and taking it off. Next, I'm using this ribbon that I actually picked up from Hobby Lobby a couple weeks ago. It was on clearance. I can't remember how much it was, but it was no more than $3. So I just hot glued that onto the sides and cut that down, and then hot glued my welcome word right in the middle of that ribbon. I absolutely love this. This is so easy, but it looks so high end, so farmhouse, and giving me all the feels that I want. I love this.
I think I'm going crazy. Oh, I just want you now. wanna hold you close, don't wanna take it.
Alright dolls, that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Let me know which one happened to be your favorite. Also, make sure you head down to the playlist in my description box as well as the other ladies' channels to see their inspired recreations, and make sure you tell them I said hi. Alright dolls, be blessed, stay safe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye! Just flop right down. Hey dolls and friends, welcome back and thanks so much for spending party.
What are you looking at?
Isaiah. Thank you. Isaiah, I really hope you guys do. Shh. So I do hope you guys. Isaiah.
Hi.
It's Nana.